Greetings, programs. Get your ass in here. Another week, another episode of the Geeks from Apartment 2 podcast. We are the Geeks from Apartment 2, and we are recording from Apartment 2 Studios somewhere deep in the heart of Rock City, New York. I am Alan One, a.k.a. your grandma's favorite podcaster. I am the geek with a voice. That girl's choice. The one who keeps the panties so moist. And ladies, if you're out there listening, I can whip you up a mean batch of shrimp Lamborghini.
Oh, goddamn. Anyway, it's me, Brother C, feeling 75% better than last time. I'm not dying over here. So, I hope tonight y'all get to hear a little more of me than last time.
Yeah, he seems better, but not vibrant at all.
Yeah, I'm as vibrant as a, giant eggplant. So,
yeah, your body's as vibrant as one of those purple light bulbs that my parents used to use when they were getting high and listening to Pink Floyd all the goddamn time.
Well, anyway, let's jump into things. How have you been holding up?
But before we get into all that, let's take care of the business as we usually do.
Yes.
You can get a hold of us through the comment section on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. You can email me directly at luckymerciless1@gmail.com. That's luckymerciless and the numeral 1@gmail.com. Especially businesses, because we need sponsors at some point. And it'd be great if we had some sponsors for the show. But hopefully that's coming. The other way, of course, is Twitter through at Geeks from Apartment 2, apartment abbreviated with the numeral 2. So that's just another way that you guys can get a hold of us. As far as me, I've been fucking blue.
Oh man,
real blue.
What's going down?
It's just a lot of personal stuff that I don't really feel like getting into because this is not the right time or platform for all of that. But just know the skies are fucking gray.
I mean, we're in Rochester. If the skies aren't gray, it's raining blood anyway. So that's par for the course.
Yeah, it's always fucking Cloverfield here, it seems. And I'm just feeling a little bit out of it. But nonetheless, here we are doing this podcast for another week.
As America had a great song, the show must go on.
Yeah.
Feel like a man on a tightrope performing. But guess what? That show will go on.
And how about you, Brother C? How have you been the last few days?
After dealing with the sick ward that was my house and slowly but surely dying for most of my vacation that I had, things picked up. I actually ended up doing something I'm going to get clowned on for even saying this, but you got to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I made some homemade sausage, and I'm not talking, pants baloney. I'm talking real deal sausage.
Yeah, because that's how you got 3 kids.
Yeah, okay.
Pants baloney.
Nah, man, it's like I've been doing miscellaneous projects, trying to clean up the house, trying to clean up myself. Been in the gym again now that I've been feeling better, and I know this is gonna sound a whole sort of wrong to some, but boy, does my ass hurt. Yesterday was leg day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yesterday was leg day. Been on my grind, trying to build a better me from the ground up.
He's been grinding.
Grinding, more like the clips, my friend. On that grind.
Okay.
Sausage grind, fitness grind, all day, every day. And
that sounded so bad. Sausage grind.
What you call it? It's just like I said. Recovering from being sick has been kind of one of those things that I've been doing. Had a lot of time to lounge around and just catch up on some things. As we talked about last week, went out to a nice dinner that I was very sad that you weren't to be a part of.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was St. Patrick's Day here in the U.S. This past weekend.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. So how many drunk white people did you run into?
Oh, okay. Too many. So, made the complete mistake to go out to a local McDonald's after the very famous St. Patrick's Day parade. And I mean, between the pop offs from Thundercats feeling froggy with the Dutch courage in them, and the ladies running around, doing God knows what. It was just a madhouse in there, and it kind of made me feel my age, but it also made me see just, man, young kids are dumb, man. I used to be that. So that was one of those eye-opening experiences I had. Uh, there was a car crash, and that was also, I'm glad everybody was safe in there. But that's just one of those things that happens when people get really froggy, they get real drunk, and they just start feeling themselves a little bit too hard. So luckily, didn't really have any altercations, so it went smoother than I expected. But I'm just glad, another St. Patrick's Day survived in the Ra-Cha-Cha.
Yeah. Well, I had to work that day, so stayed away from most of it until I got home. And as you alluded to, where we live, there's a lot of bars. So as much as I didn't really encounter anything crazy on Saturday, boy, walking around on Sunday, going to work, you can see the remnants of what happened the night before. It looked like a bunch of leprechauns puked and exploded down my street. It was quite the minefield of green and a lot of pinks.
Yeah, I mean, shamrock shakes and corned beef all
over the place. Like, you fucking rookies. White people just need a day. Just need an excuse to get drunk for a day. Like, really? I hate to sound like every black comic from Comic View, but that is the difference between black people and white people. Is like, white people will find any excuse to get drunk, whereas black people, we just like getting drunk. We'll make songs about it. Like, we got turned up at a club on a Tuesday.
Damn right.
Damn right. We don't have a day. Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get fucked up on Martin Luther King Day?
You'd be surprised. I'm sure someone's out there.
Sure. Well, you're not supposed to. That's not why he fucking died. So that you can turn up on a Monday in a goddamn club. But hey, do you? I guess let that shit cook. But what I'm saying is, you shouldn't do that on Martin Luther King Day. But we don't have a day like that. Kwanzaa is fucking bullshit, and everyone knows it. That's why nobody ever brings it up anymore. Notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that. Kind of under the umbrella of holiday season. But
it's a holiday. It's Kwanzaa. Let's fucking turn up. Let's get lit. Okay, that's why nobody brings it up any goddamn.
You light a candle. You take a shot.
You don't even light it. You don't even light a candle. You probably light some incense you got from the bodega down the street, and you smoke some weed. And there's your Kwanzaa right there.
Hey, I think that's Community Day. That's like the first day. Trust me, I used to be really, really well versed on Kwanzaa. As I went to a all boys Catholic school in my youth, and the principal was old school Black Panther style character,
right.
And that's one of the things he wanted to hammer into us, the tenets of Kwanzaa. So it was pretty much Kwanzaa all year round. So every day was for some odd reason, all I remember is Kuji Jakalia, which is like community economics or something.
What?
But there's like each day, actually Umoja, which is another day. But I don't remember the whole specifics, and I ain't gonna be that asshole to shit on anybody's belief system. But
yeah.
I just remember it being hammered into us on the daily. But I mean, after St. Pat's, everything went back to normal. The usual drunks came out, and they just looked around and said, "Man, rookies," just like you said.
Yeah, where I stay, I see this every Saturday. It's nothing new.
Nah.
It's really nothing new. Did not partake when I got home because it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much, and then to have to sit there and find a chick and she's drunk. Now you got to get fucking drunk. You got to match her fucking drunkenness. Then you got to take her home, and hopefully you have whiskey dick, you know, and that in and of itself is a balancing act because it could go haywire really fast.
End up pushing rope.
Yeah. And then you got to hope that neither you or her, while you're on top, pukes on the other one and fucks up your goddamn sheets and blankets. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. That shit is cool when you're 22, not cool when you're 43.
Nah. Yeah. Other than that, like I said, things have been getting back to normal. You may have noticed I am not sporting my usual Team Korea gear. I am now representing Team Poland.
Oh, you finally got that shit.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because, you know, I'm pretty much spending money on an elaborate inside joke that you don't even know about, but it's just about me getting shipped off to Poland and becoming a cabbage farmer. So that's just one of those things that gets ran around the JO.
You came from the wrong side of the cabbage patch.
More like a garbage pail kid.
Kind of somewhere in between.
I know
if there's a purgatory for like that type of people, that's where you are.
All right, well,
not so much, not really cabbage patch kid, but not really garbage pail kid either. Somewhere in the middle. You're right in the fence with your butt.
Oh, great.
Speaking of writing things with your butt, I did get some clarification. As to from the coworker as to how he thought that we were gay bashing.
Oh, okay. So we get an update.
Yeah. So like I said, he listened to the test run, and he said that he could have swore we said the F word that rhymes with maggot.
Oh. Nah.
And I was like, no.
We don't do that.
No. That word doesn't even come up in our personal conversations, and it never has.
No.
Not that I have a problem with that word personally, but it's just not a word I use. Just like cunt.
See, that's where we differ.
I know you like it, but when black people use it, it's fucking weird when y'all say it and shit.
Well, see, my thing is, see. This is one of those things where I use that word, and it's one of those things that I use to completely just cut down the momentum if someone is acting like a cunt. And the thing is like you said, it's a very jarring word, and it's a word that black people don't use very often. They'll call you 50 kinds of bitches, but the second you hear that C word, it's just like someone slammed the brakes in your face is like an inch away from the window. And it's like I said, it's a momentum stopper. It gives you a pause to think. And it also gives a person a pause to really think about what the fuck is he calling me a cunt for? So it's one of those things that it has a lot of power. But yeah, like you said, in the black community, you call someone a cunt, they just kind of look at you like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, right. Lots of bitches and hoes and the F word.
Yeah, I mean, y'all can all catch up on your black slang in anger, World Star, any video you can find there.
Yeah, it's like the clerk at a school somewhere in Connecticut. They got caught on tape calling somebody a nigger. Yeah. Maybe at some point we got to figure out a way to put sound on here. I think I know a way to do that, but we're gonna have to experiment with that.
Don't worry, we'll get it up. Like you said, we are the poverty cast for a while.
It's about the only thing we're getting up these. Well, yeah, I'm getting up these days. I can't speak for you. I'm not speaking for you. Speaking for me. That's part of the depression now.
I'm working on an erector set. I'm building a Ferris wheel. So that's coming up.
Well, I got to etch a sketch with what not missing. That's how I feel these days. I can't do anything with this.
Damn.
So, yeah, let's before we begin with whatever we're going to talk about tonight, condolences to the 50-plus people who lost their lives in New Zealand this past week.
Yes.
When I first heard the story, I thought, another shooting here in the States, because that shit happens seemingly every other week. But then I saw it was New Zealand, and I was like,
Yeah.
It's New Zealand. Like, when's the last time you heard anything bad coming out of New Zealand? Now, maybe I'm just the ignorant American, and I will admit to being such. But to my knowledge, you don't really hear anything out of fucking New Zealand that often. It seems
Yeah,
like New Zealand, they're real chill out there.
And it was said that it's the worst attack that country's ever experienced. So
and that should tell you something.
It's definitely,
that should tell you something.
Pause for concern about how one, we look at the everyday violence that's here, and two, just how things get turned on their head elsewhere for the similar reasons that they get turned on their head here. So definitely condolences, and they are working on rebuilding, and I mean they're enacting legal change, as we speak. So like I said, hearts go out, and they'll be stronger after this. But you shouldn't have this happen in order to rally your country together to find communal differences being set aside. And
and if you want to help, I'm sure you can find places online that you can donate to the victims of what happened in New Zealand if you feel like it. So with that out the way, see?
Yes.
I'm going to let you set it off today. What's been going on with you, the last couple of days, since Thursday? We'll get into that in a little bit, but whatever you need to get off your chest, get it off your chest, son.
Okay, so last few days, like I said, I've been at the tail end of my vacation. I really haven't consumed much, TV-wise or gaming-wise. I have been going through some, staple comics that I mentioned last week. I haven't really picked up anything new, but I have been looking around because I haven't seen the Captain Marvel movie yet, which we will talk about at length later, because I believe you said you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been going back to the Captain Marvel catalog and just looking at women doing shit. So that's been a trip, and I hope the movie does something in addressing the different stages of attitude she's had in her different iterations.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that when I pass the ball off to you.
Short.
Okay. Other than that, when I did hang out with my pops, we started watching that Tupac Biggie series that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So it was he started it because I had to run a couple of errands, and I came in and I watched a bit of it. I was actually at first I thought it was I thought it was going to be like a weird docuseries, but it's just like an actual show that has the actors in it. So I'm gonna go back and
was this the one that was on USA? I want to say because there's this.
I don't know if it was one.
It might be that one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
But
I have to, but there was a show on USA about this.
Yes. So I started that, and really nothing much else. I've been going through a lot of old action movies. I've been watching the Raid Redemption, and the Raid Brendo, which is the sequel, because it's my favorite action movie of all time. The first Raid, that is.
What, they made 3 of these?
No, I guess the Raid Redemption is like a semi-sequel, so that's the first one we ever saw.
Yeah.
But I guess that was supposed to be like a semi-sequel to something. I don't know what it is. So I've been going on a Asian movie kick. I went back and rewatched I Saw the Devil. Also a fantastic movie.
One of your favorites.
One of my favorites.
Not so much me.
You didn't like it. I mean, I love the premise of it. So that's what I've been doing, and been actually looking for this Chinese crime flick called I believe it's called Ash something is the whitest or something, or the whitest as Ash. And I heard it was a pretty dope flick.
Is it about you if you don't put lotion on?
Yes, it's about me becoming a ghost in the Chinese triad community.
That's not that hard. Just take a shower and not put cocoa butter on your fucking skin, and that's you.
Yeah.
It's you playing yourself in whiteface.
Clap my hands like Ashy Larry.
Yeah,
I get it.
You know, clap your hands, throwing dust in the air like you're fucking LeBron.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I've been getting into. Like I said, been on that workout grind. Got squat goals for the summer.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, look, man, banana hammocks is coming out this year. I don't care.
As long as I don't see it, do you?
I'm coming in with the Borat slingshot.
Nope.
Over the shoulder.
You're not going to microwave like that. And number two, you got to walk down the street.
Yep, gonna do it.
That's. You don't have that kind of body confidence to do that.
You don't need body confidence. It's all in your head. Okay. As long as the head cannon fires off that you the dopest, you're gonna be the dopest.
All right.
Look, word of advice to all these naysayers and non-believers out there: you are your best band member. Okay, you're gonna toot your own horn. You're gonna play your own drums. You'll be your lead singer and guitarist. Don't let anybody out there tell you can't, because guess what? They not you. Only you can be the best you. Bam.
Said by the most overgrown purple Tony Robbins you will ever meet in this goddamn world.
I swear, if I had one of them headphone mics, I'd be marching up and down the street with probably a choir, the same choir from This Is America, mind you, just chanting behind me. You can do it. Other than that, I'm gonna bounce this Paul to you, man.
You gotta give me the fucking alley-oop. Well, you talked to me a couple days ago. Actually, texted me a couple days ago about the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start with that shit because you wanted to bring that up.
All right. Well,
so tell me what you know.
Okay, I did a little digging, right? So I'm not sure if anybody knows, or it might be like dead news, but Johnny Depp got into a whole to do about potentially being the abuser in the Amber Heard relationship that everybody knows that's his ex, and he lost his standing in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and he got blacklisted pretty much after that. Turns out that he was on the abused end of the spectrum, and
allegedly,
but the not so much, because he submitted 87 videos of evidence, and this is the last thing I heard, where she's kicking him, she throws a vodka bottle at him, it cuts his finger, and this, that, and the third. So it's okay. So someone asked me, why do I always bring up the contrary? So for every female incident of accused assault and this, that, and the third, I've in the past have brought up the naysayers equivalent. So one case before this was the two college students that got accused of rape, and then they were found to be innocent because the woman not only falsified the account but did so trying to gain the affection of another person. She thought that having that traumatic incident would put her in a better light in another guy's eyes, and this did its news round. It did the the whole ebb and flow of the kids getting kicked out and whatnot, what have you. But I had brought that up because when this happens and the accusation of sexual assault has a very hefty weight, that's not something that you recover from really quickly, and in some cases not at all. These kids lost their college scholarship. They went as footballers, and they can't do that anymore. Their names were dragged through the mud. Their family stood by them, and their closest friends stood by them. But it's just one of those things where I'm a guy, so I'm going to gravitate towards news stories that kind of impact me in a way, shape, or form. So it's not so much me being that guy that says, hey, nah, look at these liars. It's just there's always a second side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And the Me Too movement, which I had, initially thought was a fantastic thing, especially, even with Terry Crews coming out and saying that he was, a victim. I thought that was, quite empowering. But as it went on further and further, you started getting contrary stories. And then you started getting this duality where it wasn't just guys, it was just people in power doing this to people who had none. So it ceased being a air quotes feminist movement and more of a predator versus victim thing that got mired in the muck, and it just started really getting bogged down with, yeah, you're pointing fingers at everybody, but everybody's kind of culpable in Hollywood, and it just became one of those things where it's like I started looking it up more and more, and then I just had to stop because it makes you look at everything with a really cynical eye where, yeah, this probably happened, but can you trust them? And it does make you kind of really lean on the innocent until proven guilty, and everybody should get their fair shake. But you shouldn't have to look at a victim and say, can she be lying? Could it be this and that? And that's just kind of that mode I was in for a while. But no, I've since gotten out of it. I at the end of the day don't care if justice is going to be done. It's going to be done. And that's pretty much my stance on it. Let the legal system sort it out because I don't have time to lose any more hair or get any more grays over this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got enough grays as is. Surprising enough that excuse me, that she hasn't she didn't headbutt this motherfucker with that big ass forehead. We do focus a lot on people's foreheads.
No, it's not.
Especially ladies' foreheads.
It's not the fact that we focus a lot on their foreheads. It just so happens that very prominent figures.
Amber Heard has a big forehead.
What's her name?
Olivia Wilde has a big forehead. Ellen Page has a big forehead. It seems like we do pick on these poor ladies. But what God gave them.
We can't forget about Tyra Banks and the Queen of Foreheads.
She's got a big ass fucking forehead.
And everybody used to always joke on the Tyra Banks 5 head. I mean, you got Family Guy jokes.
The 4x4 head.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, look, guess what? What dude has a giant forehead? What's his name? Christopher Walken has a giant forehead.
He does.
But no one cares because it's like
because you're a guy and
no, he doesn't make his money off his looks. He makes his money off his weird speech and his acting capabilities.
Yeah. I mean, what am I gonna say? Like, I have a big fucking head, so it's what it is. If you have a big head, that's what God gave you.
You got to pat yourself on the back for that comment. I got a big head, yeah.
The one on top of my neck.
Dick joke
at the bottom. See, okay, yep. That was for one particular person. The show since day one.
Thank you. We love you, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's use some critical thinking on all this. So some objective thinking.
Yes.
To try to look at this from all the perspectives, all the angles. So now let's say that Johnny Depp really was beating the brakes off this chick as she accused him of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's not possible, but Johnny Depp doesn't seem the type to beat women.
Look, I'm going to put it this way. If it happened and, it pans out that it did or did not, then, like I said, I'm going to throw my hands up. He already got blacklisted for the accusation of it. Companies have to protect their interests, so they removed his image. And guess what? If he, did, then guess what? Do justice and put him in jail for whatever a lot of time that happens for. But if he didn't, I'd love to see him, welcome back into the arms of Hollywood as awkward and mediocre as he has been of late.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like companies are not just going to say, oh, my bad. We blacklisted you. Come back. Make this movie. They're going to move on.
Well, we'll get into that point a little bit later on. But getting back to Johnny Depp, is he a weird-ass motherfucker? Yeah. Recluse? Sure. But woman beater might be stretching it because we do live in a time, and I hate to use this motherfucker as an example, but R. Kelly did have a good point during that interview. All it takes is one woman to say this happened, and then then the next woman's going to say something, and the next woman's going to say something. So if he is a reported woman beater, Amber Heard ain't the first. So how come we haven't heard any other woman come out and say, "Well, this happened to me as well"? See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's not like Bill Cosby, where again took one,
and then you got 50.
Yeah, and you got 50 after that. Because wasn't Johnny Depp like banging Winona Ryder at one point? Okay, if that's the case, how come Winona Ryder all this time hasn't come out and said?
It's more like banging her back out. That's probably why.
Put on them
Edward Scissorhand gloves. You know, you got a main attraction like camera action.
Well, good for him. But my point is that if he's a woman beater, Amber Heard certainly is not the first time he's thrown a chick down a flight of stairs. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now let's look at the opposite. If you flip that coin over, and now let's say that it was Amber Heard that was abusing Johnny Depp, it would behoove Johnny Depp to come out and talk about this.
Yeah.
Because it's a subject that is still very taboo, and especially in this country. Because you don't hear... I know people that's been in abusive relationships, guys.
But yeah, you don't really hear about
too much about it because
being the abused.
We're taught that
it's emasculating.
Yeah, it's emasculating. You're a bitch. You're fucking weak. You let some broad just treat you that way.
Yeah.
But all it's going to take is somebody like Johnny Depp to come on and say, yeah, this happened to me. And I would love to see that conversation, that dialogue happen, where other guys who have been in abusive relationships can come on and say, okay, see, Johnny Depp was brave enough to say that. I can talk about my abusive relationships. You know what I'm saying?
That would be a thing that would be fantastic, but I'll use Terry Crews and what happened with him as an example. And he handled it like a fucking champ, right? He came out and said, yo, man, this happened to me, right? 50 Cent came out, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're big. Why don't you just fight him off? And he's like, that the thing is this: Terry Crews weighed out what the consequence would be of him beating the shit out of somebody who did this to him. Not only do you perpetuate the angry black man stereotype, but you perpetuate that all we know is violence. And he was like, look, I can't do that. That's not the way you go about things. You got to take things up the legal channel. And at that time, he didn't know how to process that. And this is kind of what I was talking about last time with Louis C.K., where it's like in the heat of the moment, your mind is just thinking, what the fuck is happening? And you know what? I'm not even sure I told you this story, but this is like a weird happening that happened to me, right? So, the liquor store way down the street, right?
Right.
Way down the street. The old dude there, right? I'm in there, and this guy is 2 sheets into the wind, right? And so, right, put the bottles up there, ready to pay. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Shake my hand, right? Turns around, goes in for the hand kiss. I'm like, what is this? I'm like,
careful.
No, because this like I'm psycho. Don't worry. The situation actually, because I'm from the city, so this is not a happening that has never happened before. It's just it was weird because it had like a weird creepy vibe to it because he was drunk and like old, and so I was just like, aha. This is like one of them RPG talk segments where it's like you have point A be taken aback, point B roll with it, point C, just walk away. So it's like, as this situation is happening, I'm like, well, I didn't get carded, and I'm buying tons of booze. So I'm just gonna ride this one out. There's no harm, no foul. I mean, it is what it is. He was drunk, so I'm like, this happened. But this was just one of those situations where he overplayed his hand, and if I were 50 Cent, he'd be laid out. There'd be security footage of me knocking an old dude out, and then how does that look? Cooler heads have to prevail, right?
Yeah.
And as off-putting as it was, I mean, I didn't hold it against him. I didn't have any real feeling other than like, this is a situation. And so, that was just one of those things where I haven't even told anybody about the story yet. I told like maybe my homeboy at work, because I was like, man, this was weird. But it was also one of those things where it's like, if I was just one of them hood dudes, be like, yo, what you doing, man? What you think you doing? And he would have floored him.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's not the route that you have to go. Sometimes you just got to process things and just say, man, this is a thing that's happening. Do I deal with it later, or do I just let it go? Terry Crews had to deal with it later. He was sexually assaulted. Me, I can just walk away from this situation and call it a day.
To be perfectly honest, there has been plenty of days I've woken up and wanted to be sexually assaulted by someone. So I'm just throwing it out there. like I prayed that I'm sexually assaulted. Some people just want that to happen to them, Like, oh, you really want me that bad? Well, okay,
One, there are sites for that. Two, there's a Law and Order episode of that, and it didn't really end out as well.
I mean,
and three, dear Penthouse, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today.
No, you would believe. If you knew me, you would believe what happened to me today.
No, but just as a closing to this, it's one of those things where it's like, yo, there are measures and steps that have to be taken, and when you go about the right ones, you just have to understand that it is a lengthy process, and that if things shape up the way they are supposed to, you will get your due justice in the end. Other things, you just let go and walk away.
Remember, you can't rape the willing, and afterwards, I might make you some shrimp Lamborghini.
God, okay, I got a question. What the hell is shrimp Lamborghini? Not that I can eat it because it will.
Do you know the rapper Gilly the Kid?
No.
You ever heard of him?
No.
Well, Gilly the Kid told this story recently about Baby, one of the founders of Cash Money.
Okay, yeah.
About one time he went into a restaurant and requested that they make him shrimp Lamborghini, which I'm sure he meant shrimp linguine. Right?
Probably.
But he was probably really fucking stoned and or on lean. And so it came out as shrimp Lamborghini. But I was sitting there thinking today, like, what would be shrimp Lamborghini?
So, okay.
I'm thinking like, obviously shrimp.
Yes.
A nice al dente pasta and a nice red sauce.
Okay,
and a nice bottle of wine.
We are going on a rare... Okay, we're going to sidetrack this. Because now we're playing Shrimp Lamborghini Master Chef. I would do Shrimp Lamborghini like this, right? So, what color is a Lamborghini? Shit's cherry red, right? That's in your mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can get it in any color you like.
Right, you can get it any color you like. But you got red, you got a yellow, right? So, I'm thinking, right, we get some shrimp. Chop that shit up, right? We put that with some. We do it like a risotto. Put some risotto. Get that going. Stuff that shrimp with some creamy risotto and maybe like a long ass yellow pepper. So you got stuffed pepper. You roast that shit. You put little burn marks on the side to be tires. And he probably wants some Racecar Bed type shit. Where, look, my shrimp is in a racecar bed with a cheese blanket.
Right.
But I would do some shit like that. And, put a little parsley steering wheel in that shit. If you really, really want to get the goddamn visual going, put some carrot stick yellow lines on your plate and maybe some, olive asphalt tapenade. And there you go, shrimp Lamborghini. Not that I can eat it, because that shit'll murder me.
Oh, yeah. For people out there that don't know, Brother C is allergic to shellfish, and it will kill him.
Yeah, thank you. Now I'm going to get attacked by, homeless people with shellfish syringes.
Okay, all the homeless people who still have laptops that can get on YouTube and just so happen to listen to this show.
You'd be surprised. No. We're spreading like a virus.
I would be very surprised if that happened.
Yo, okay.
And we live in a neighborhood with a lot of fucking homeless people. So all I have to do is just go to the bodega down the street and just say anything and be like, "Are you having one?"
Yeah.
What?
You're gonna have our face plastered everywhere soon.
Dude, okay. Well, we should talk about that. We'll just talk about what happened Thursday.
All right.
We, by we, I mean you.
Me?
Sat here and tried to make a logo for the show.
Oh, God. Okay, nah.
That was disastrous.
First of all, the logo making process was just, a test run. Okay, because we got to get a logo. I'm still content on the whole, play on the shinnin'. With apartment door coming out with blood in. It's your apartment.
That will be one of our new thumbnails.
Yeah.
Because I did take that picture.
Oh, you did? Awesome! Look at that. We moving on up.
Yeah, I did. I took 2 pictures, and that's one of them.
All right. So
when this episode comes out, that will be our new thumbnail.
And the thing is that you got most of the people that are listening will understand that we are starting from the gutter. I mean, this is short of 2 really expensive tin cans and a string, and we are yelling into it. So, I understand that we don't have the glitz and glam of everybody else, but we are doing it so that we are not fucking playing pretend.
But here's the thing. No matter how chaotic and haywire my life is outside of this, the one thing that doesn't depress me as much is this.
Yeah.
Because the fact that, some episodes have cooked, the test runs cooked. Nino Brown cooked. Nino Brown cooked. Last week's episode, 16 views. That's all we got. Yeah. But you know what? Doesn't bring me down because... number one, YouTube was never part of the plan. This was never my plan to put it on YouTube at all. But it just happened that way.
I pressured you to do that.
Yeah, yeah. And outside of our own views, let's say 13, 14 people to the time out of their day to listen to us, to kick it with us. So I'm always grateful for that. That's about the only thing that I'm not depressed about because I'm like, all right,
Don't worry. I'm working on the massive farming out of this program.
We did talk about that last week, and we should let people know that we are trying to get on SoundCloud, and I like to think at some point soon that will happen. But again, all this is a language for me personally that is very new.
Yeah.
So
we're growing it. It's slow and steady, but guess what? We're continuing to put out content every week.
That's right.
And that's all that matters. Consistency.
Yeah, that's right.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's right, man. You gotta treat this like a job. A job you're not getting paid for. But this ain't work.
Mm-mm.
This ain't work for me. Even putting this shit together, like last week.
Yes.
Let's peel back the curtain for a minute. Some of you guys heard the little horn in the goddamn background, so I stopped the recording and I paused it.
Yeah.
So it only recorded that part, and then we had to re-record it. So I learned how to splice finally, so you guys can get the complete episode.
Little digital surgeon over there.
I sure did. So thank God that didn't happen yet. So I always have to remember, do not stop it, just was it?
Yes.
Oh,
The more you know.
yeah. So, speaking of Thursday, let's get some movie shit for a second.
All right.
You and I got together on Thursday.
Yep.
Chopped it up a bit. And at the end, we did a bit of a trailer merry-go-round.
Yeah. Okay. Trailer kind of, huh?
Yeah. And I think we saw maybe 10, maybe a dozen trailers.
We went through a few.
Yeah, we went through a lot. And really, for me, there's only two that
stuck out.
That stuck out. The first one was Brightburn.
Brightburn, yeah. The second, the other trailer.
The other trailer,
yes.
Brightburn. If you don't know, I want to say no. This ain't James Gunn. This ain't James Gunn. Whoever.
Yes.
This is a story of what if Superman was evil?
Yeah, an evil bastard kid.
An evil bastard kid.
Yes.
The first time I saw it, I knew right away what it was. I was like, how are they getting away with this? Because it is basically the Superman origin story. But
yeah.
I'm completely on board.
Yeah,
Brightburn.
I mean,
I can't wait for that to come out.
You know what the funniest thing about Brightburn is that if this were like a stealth DC movie, like Brightburn is just the Bizarro story.
That would be awesome.
That would be fucking awesome. If this is like, yo, this is really just a story of Bizarro, and at the end he whips out this shirt, or he does like a Forrest Gump when he wipes his face and makes a smiley face in the t-shirt, but he finds a shirt and just puts a backwards S on it. I'd be like, oh god, that would be one of the best stealth movie turns ever, really, for me.
Yeah.
But that's not only well wishing, that's 4-leaf clover wishing, that's pot of gold wishing, that's rabbit's foot wishing. So I will take it for what it is. It's a bastard child gone awry with superpowers movie. And you know what? This reminds me of, what was that movie with the kids that ended up getting psychic powers? It was a found footage movie. It's like the Chronicle. It reminds me of Chronicle if it was just with a kid.
I really like Chronicle. That was a good movie.
By the time Chronicle came out, I was done with found footage movies.
Yeah.
So.
And I get it. There was very much found footage fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
The other one was what's it called? Good Boy?
Oh, the Good Boys, yes.
It was like super bad and neighbors, yeah.
Yes.
That was very funny. That's a very funny trailer. I've never looked.
That's a very funny trailer because it hit me personally really, really hard. And not so much because I had an eccentric group of boys trying to get to a party or whatever, what have you, or even the cursing. The subject matter that goes through that movie trailer, at the very least, is something that ran rampant in my junior high school. And I went to a junior high school filled with nerds. So just take that whole American Pie band cap thing and stretch it for 4 years.
Yeah. God damn it. Because we said we were going to talk about this last week, and we had a perfect segue to do so. Talking about Johnny Depp.
Oh.
Chloe Moretz Grace.
Huh?
Chloe Moretz Grace.
Oh,
and why we call her Slouchy Girl.
Yes.
The reason why, because we said we were going to explain it last week, so let's do it now.
Yes.
The reason why we call her Slouchy Girl is because she was in this movie called Dark Shadows. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Ever.
To the point where I never.
We didn't finish it.
We didn't finish it. That was on a double bill with Battleship, which is just as bad, but bad in a fun way.
In a fun way, yeah.
Yeah.
Mahalo, motherfuckers.
Yeah. And then we watched Dark Shadows, and this movie was just dog shit.
Yes.
And Chloe Moretz Grace. Now, as I alluded to last week, I'm going to get a little better at putting graphics on the screen.
Yes.
So I hope that by this point, I will put this picture on the screen.
Oh, her just slouching it up?
Yeah, because I have a picture. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. You know what?
Yeah.
As I'm sitting here talking about it.
Visual aspect.
Yeah, I'll give you a visual aspect. Yeah, I know, right? This is strictly for me and you.
Yes.
But I like to think that by the time this comes out, I would have put this particular picture on the screen.
Is it the dinner table one where she's just like, she's like melting on the table? Yeah,
that's a picture I was gonna put up. That's a picture I'm putting
works.
up. And if for some reason, if you get to this point in the podcast and this picture ain't up, I want everybody that's listening to us right now to Google Chloe Moretz Grace Dark Shadows, and you will see what we're talking about. She slouches through this whole fucking movie, or at least what we saw.
Yeah, what we saw. But the thing about it was this. Okay, so everybody knows she was Hit Girl.
Yes.
Right? So the thing about it is this: is that it was really new again that we got to see a child actor grow up from movie to movie to movie.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time Dark Shadows came out, we were like, wow, okay, you're gonna be like the next thing, because what you call it? What's the name of the movie where it was Hit Girl? I was about to say Scott Pilgrim. Kick Ass. Yes, Kick Ass did fucking gangbusters. It was fantastic. The first one was great. The second one was meh.
Yeah.
But
so.
she managed to put herself in a ton of movies. Unfortunately, Dark Shadows was one of them too. And it was just one of those things where I was like, man, this is really gonna kill it for you. But you're growing up to.
She's been wobbly ever since.
Yeah, that's
because
the thing,
she also did the remake of Carrie.
Yeah,
which was just okay.
Yeah, but a lot of people I heard liked it, so.
I didn't.
You didn't, because we grew up with the awkward
with
Carrie,
yeah,
where it. God damn it. Okay, that was gonna lead into a whole nother thing, but let's just book in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's slouchy. It's a really lazy look, and it was the summer of slouch.
It was
at that, because we watched Paperboy as well,
and that was another horrible movie. This young lady, I should say.
Sure, a woman by now.
I'm sure she's legal. Yeah. I hope she's legal, because I was going to say she's very pretty. Okay. Very pretty young lady.
Yeah.
But in this movie, I think she knew, like, this movie sucks. And I'm just like, and she was just like, you know what?
Dialing it in.
It's just dialing it in. Yeah. Like, I'm just going to buy a car with this check.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's
I got to meet Johnny Depp and Michelle Pfeiffer, because I forgot that she was in that movie.
Michelle Pfeiffer in the
Dark Shadows? Yeah, she's in Dark Shadows.
I don't remember anything about that movie.
I hardly remember anything else, but other than Johnny Depp playing Barnabas Collins. Yeah, my mother loved Dark Shadows as a kid. Really? Oh yeah. She's the one. For people out there that don't know, my mom is the one that got me into horror movies. So when she was a kid, Dark Shadows was a soap opera.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And my mom was like, I used to break my neck to get home to watch Dark Shadows.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Too bad it turned into that, but that's cool.
Yeah, too bad it turned into that bullshit. But yeah. Horrible movie.
Now, I got a question. What? Because you mentioned one Mr. Gunn.
Yes.
Did you heard?
Yes, I did. I was going to talk about that.
All right.
James Gunn, who directed both the first and second volumes of Guardians of the Galaxy, was reinstated by Disney over this past week to direct Volume 3. Congratulations to him.
Yes.
Yes.
But did you also hear?
Hear what?
About the Suicide Squad.
That he's still directing? Is he still directing that?
The Suicide Squad? Yeah. It's not a sequel. It is not Suicide Squad 2. It is a complete fucking reboot. Called The
because Will Smith is not coming back as Deadshot.
No.
Does that mean Margot Robbie
is potentially coming in for that?
Is Margot Robbie coming back as
I don't know.
Harley Quinn?
But my thing is the fact that, first of all, why? Because we had this feeling with SpiderMan when they rebooted it, not once but twice within not even 10 years did we get a new Spider-Man movie. But Suicide Squad, that's not even 5 years old.
No, that came out 2016.
Yeah, so, I mean, is this really, are we scrubbing the history that quickly? Was it that big of a stain? And
I
Really?
thought it was. I thought it was.
No. I mean, I think it was horrible. Okay, but my thing is this. Normally, you let that shit just fade. This seems like one of those. We gotta get rid of this. We gotta get rid of it.
No, because if you think about it, there wasn't that much time between The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and then Spider-Man's appearance in Civil War.
Yes, but I think a cameo appearance. I mean, it was a little bit more.
It wasn't even a cameo.
It was more because I mean, when you look at the DCU, I mean not DCU, MCU, everything built on everything. So even a cameo appearance has weight because it definitely pays dividends later. But when you have a movie that was terrible and then say, you know what? Let's completely forget that was ever made. Let's do it again. I think it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta let that franchise just breathe, give it some room, and then come back to it. Because them jumping right back into the arena I don't think Gunn will make a flop. I really don't think that he will, but it's just one of those things where it's like, they have other properties in DC that they can build. Let him touch another property. Build something else.
No.
No?
I disagree.
Okay.
Do another Suicide Squad. If you're going to do a new one, fine. If it's James Gunn doing it, that's even better because he knows how to work quirky characters.
Yes, he does.
In a good way. So I'm definitely, if he's going to do a Suicide Squad movie, that's cool. If he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3, double cool. Double fucking cool.
Yeah.
That being said, since we're talking about comic book movies, let's stop beating around the goddamn bush. No pun intended. And let's talk about Captain Marvel.
All right.
So,
what? Will there be spoilers in this conversation?
No, and that's kind of the weird thing because before we got these mics, I can just spoil the shit out of anything for you. But because now we have a podcast, I have to try to tiptoe around all this and not be spoilerific. So, what I will say is this.
Yes.
By the end of this review, I will have 3 positive things to say about this movie.
All right.
And 1 theory.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So, as we all know by now, Brie Larson plays the titular Captain Marvel, a.k.a. Carol
Danvers.
Right. Don't. I knew you were going to try to do that. The whitest kids we know. Yeah. Do not do that right now. So, what do we know about her?
Yeah.
We know that once upon a time she was an Air Force pilot.
Yep.
Somewhere along the line, she got superpowers, which I'm not going to spoil, and at some point she got amnesia, proving that not even the MCU is immune to not doing that goddamn trope. Yeah, to that goddamn storyline.
Yep.
Because they Jason Bourne the fuck out of this movie. Goddamn. So she gets plucked up into the fucking galaxy, and she's in the middle of this war between 2 factioning aliens, the Krees and the Skrulls, which she's on the Kree side. She gets kidnapped by the Skrulls. They try to tap into her memory, which again she doesn't remember anything. The Skrulls find out that there's a doctor that she's very close to that lives on Earth. What do? They go to Earth. Yeah. What does she do? She follows. And she comes to Earth, and the first person she meets is a very young Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Now, here's my first positive thing that I can say about it. Actually, 2.
Yes.
The first thing is that there is a very touching tribute to Stan Lee in the beginning.
Oh, great!
It was very touching and very poignant. It was very cool.
Was it a cameo or was
no? When eventually when you see it, you'll see it. I don't want to spoil it, but it was very poignant. The second thing is that this technology that makes people look younger in these movies,
it's getting freaking ridiculous.
It's better than what we saw 10 years ago, because the first time we saw this, if you remember, was Tron Legacy.
Yep, Tron. I was about to say.
Where they tried to make Jeff Bridges look like Jeff Bridges in '82. when the first one came out and it looked weird.
Yeah.
There are times in this movie where you forget that you're seeing a CGI effect.
Of Samuel L.
Of Samuel L. as a younger Samuel L.
I wonder how much of that is Pulp Fiction footage.
It looks like him before Pulp Fiction.
Really?
Yeah, it's that good.
Damn.
It's that good of a CGI. I'm telling you, there are times in this movie where you forget that that's the CGI effect that you're seeing. It was very cool.
That's good.
That's very cool. That being said,
mm-hmm.
everything else about a lot of other things about this movie was fucking off. This is one of my least favorite MCU movies, maybe ever.
See, I had a see. Okay, the thing about this movie with me and seeing it, because I've talked to a few people, and they were like, "Meh, it's average, at best." A lot of people equated it to having the feeling, and I'm just kind of giving a synopsis on the gauge that I got, was that it's the equivalency of like Thor 1, where you have a character that has potential, but you are not using it to its potential because you don't know how to fit them in yet.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
No.
No. You're getting ahead of me.
I'm getting ahead of you, but I will say this. I will say this, and I will pass the ball back to you. Where it was just one of those things where it's like, as a comic book reader, I know MCU is just doing what they do. So I let it rock. And when I go into this movie, I'm going in the same way. Whatever iteration I get, I'm just going to let it rock for now, and that is it.
No.
But continue.
No. This movie was it felt off. You know what I'm saying? The dialogue felt off. The story fell off. The action scenes felt off.
Okay, that's a problem for me.
Yeah. I can tolerate a dumbass story, but in a movie like this, especially an MCU movie, I want some good action scenes, and they didn't have that in this.
Okay, I got a question. How does an action scene seem off? Because we consume a lot of movies.
Just the way it was filmed.
Ooh.
The way it was filmed. And to your point,
yes,
you talked about this a couple weeks ago, where not just Marvel, but DC's just as guilty of this, and other comic book properties, where the music in it is a little too much.
The taint? Oh, yeah, no.
Because this movie is set in the 90s.
Yes.
And you better believe they go out of their way to remind you that this is in the 90s. To the point where I was just like, all right, you know what? I need you to dial it back. I need you to dial this back because I get it. You're in the fucking 90s. I get it now, okay? To your point, one of your problems with Umbrella Academy was like,
the musical numbers.
80s. Yeah, it's so fucking 80s and shit like that.
Yeah.
With Captain Marvel, you better believe, like, this movie's set in the 90s.
See,
There's fucking salt. Oh, okay. One thing is salt and pepper. Another scene is No Doubt. Another scene is this. She's wearing a Nine Inch Nails shirt. She's listening to Nirvana. It's like, I get it.
We get
Moving on.
Yeah. See, this is, like, I'll bring this up one time, and that'll be the end of it. This is the problem I had with Guardians of the Galaxy, because I loved the soundtrack, right? But as I went back and reviewed it, it had a domino effect on me. Did we explain what the domino effect is? Slight digression.
No, I didn't use that word. I know you guys say. I know you said people get on you by saying slight digression.
Yeah, they did. But
the domino effect. Domino effect is this. In 2005, there was a movie called Domino with Keira Knightley that told the true story of Domino Harvey, who really was a runway model, and then she became a bounty hunter, and the daughter of, I think, Lawrence Harvey. Is that his name?
So, yeah.
Now, when that movie first came out, the first time I saw it, I was like, well, it's a pretty cool movie. As time went on, I tried to watch that movie again. It deteriorated because there's so many plot holes in it.
Yeah.
That I was just like, I can't watch this anymore.
So, the domino effect, in effect, is a movie that upon subsequent viewings becomes worse and worse as you realize how stupid it is.
Yeah, and you know what? The reverse has happened for me. I was thinking about that today, coincidentally. There has been movies that I didn't like at first,
Yes.
but liked after seeing it the second time.
Yes.
For example, Team America.
Team America.
That's a great example.
Yes.
Didn't care for it the first time. I think because I was sick, so I just wasn't in the mood for it. But after seeing it, and it was years later, and I saw it again, I was like, nah, yeah, I was wrong. This is very funny.
Yes.
Anchorman is another one. I didn't like Anchorman in the beginning, but the first time I saw it in the theater, hated that movie. But I saw it again later on, I was like, it ain't that bad.
So I think we should have the domino effect, which is it goes down after you watch it more.
And the Team America effect?
The America effect.
Okay.
As it goes up as you watch it more and more.
Well,
but you started off not liking it.
Yeah. And maybe I'm wrong about Captain Marvel, and maybe someday I'll see it on TV and watch it again and be like, I feel differently about it. But I don't think so. Even in the headspace that I'm in right now, I was still looking forward to seeing Captain Marvel.
Yeah, you would, because
and I still didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
You sparked me getting even remotely interested in reading anything about her.
Yeah.
Before I watched the movie.
Well, that's the thing. So let me get back to where we were.
Yes.
This movie, because it's the 21st of these MCU things, by that for a minute.
Yeah, Jesus.
And it's almost 11 years. It's the 21st movie we've got from the MCU. To the point now where you can rate them. You can rank them now.
Yeah.
I'll put them in the categories. And for me, there's two categories at this point with MCU movies. There are movies that I will have watched multiple times. For example, the first Iron Man, the first Avengers, the first Guardians.
Damn right, Civil War.
Civil War and Infinity War. Those are movies,
of course.
Those are movies that I will always go back to because those movies are dope.
Now.
Yeah. Then there's movies on the other side where it's like, well, I saw it once and that's all I need to see of it. Like the first two Thor movies.
Yep.
Doctor Strange. Even Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Winter Soldier is fair enough.
Yeah, which, you know, I get a lot of people, I got into discussions / arguments with people about Winter Soldier because, Winter Soldier, I should say. Soju. Winter Soju.
Soju, tell him, boy.
Yes. But Winter Soldier, I didn't like as much as everybody else did. And we must have saw like two different movies. And Captain Marvel is in that category. Of a movie that I only need to see once. And I'll even be honest, I think it's a movie that most people can skip. Ooh. You can skip that movie and you're not going to miss anything. There are some things that, you know, might have to be explained about her, but just get with someone who's seen all these movies like me, and I'll explain it in one sentence or two sentences and be like, this is who she is, this is what happened, moving on.
Okay, so in closing for this Captain Marvel.
Okay.
What do you rank it?
No, I promised 3 things.
Oh, okay.
3 positive things. I gave you 2. Here's the third.
Yes.
With all the problems, with all the plot holes in this movie. Actually, no, even before that, because I had notes. I actually didn't have notes, but I have thoughts. My biggest problem with the movie, with everything, is that they never explain where she's been this whole time.
Oh no!
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that you have a.
It's not the first time. Okay, I'll give you somebody else. Actually, not even somebody else. A lot of other people pointed this out, and it's not going to spoil anything for you.
Okay.
But in the movie, go back to Avengers, the first one. Nick Fury makes these weapons because of the Tesseract, which does play a part in this movie as well. When the Avengers question him and say, well, why are we making these weapons made out of the Tesseract, these superpowered weapons? He points to Thor and says, because of him.
Yeah.
Because we know now that we're not
people
alone.
like him.
Yeah, we're not alone in the universe. However, I just sat here for 2 fucking hours and watch you with this little pretty blonde chick who fell out of the goddamn sky fight fucking aliens. So you can't say, well, we were never prepared for this when you knew that there was that there was aliens on other planets.
So what you're saying is that the retcon that they're doing.
It's a bit of a retcon, yeah. It's a bit of a retcon.
We weren't preparing for Thor. We were preparing for this person that we already knew.
And not only that, this is not the first MCU movie in space. I can see if that was the case.
Yeah.
But you got the Guardians, and you had the first Avengers, where we all knew that there was aliens. So where the fuck was she at this whole time?
Yeah.
And Nick Fury knew
of her existence.
Knew of her existence. So don't you think that if you have that ace up your sleeve because, hey, she can fly and she can make laser beams come out of her fucking hands, don't you think that would help the rest of these goddamn superheroes?
What you're saying now is literally the Superman problem of the Justice League. Where if we have this nuke right here that will solve the problem, why are we not using it to solve the problem? If you are aware of Captain Marvel's existence before the assembly of the Avengers, why are we not using this to solve the problem?
Absolutely.
And that is fucking... That's a huge fucking problem for me.
That's a huge problem. Here's okay, I'll give you 2 theories.
Yes.
Here's my first theory of how you could have introduced Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to the initial rollout.
Yes.
All those years ago, when they announced all these movies that are coming out for the next few years. The first movie they were going to do was Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Then afterwards, they're going to, down the road, they're going to do Captain Marvel. Now, I did read something the other day. Actually, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I read the first volume of Kelly Sue DeConnick's run on Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Guess what? She knows the goddamn Guardians.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she knows the Guardians. That's a problem.
You understand what I'm saying? So, initially, when I first read that, I said, okay, they're going to introduce her the same way that they introduced Black Panther and SpiderMan in Civil War. Where it's like, there they are. You know very little about them, but you know who they are at least.
They're already established.
Right.
Yes.
So that by the time you got to their respective movies, you at least knew who they were.
Yeah.
So I, naively, I guess, thought, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, they're going to introduce Captain Marvel.
Yes.
So that by the time we got to her solo movie, you at least know where she was. And you could have told the exact same story.
You could have, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're telling the story on a precedent that the audience has prior knowledge that this character exists.
Not only that, but because Wonder Woman did so fucking well.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? They banked on the women's movement.
Okay,
and that didn't work here. It doesn't work for me.
That is actually, and this is my last point on the movie. That's actually why I wanted to see this movie, because I did not know about the whole controversy that came out before it. I did not know about Brie Larson completely slamming critics and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you
No, I didn't hear about this.
So basically what happened was this. Brie Larson goes on some award show, I can't remember, and I just really scraped the surface of this, saying oh, this movie is not made for the 45-year-old white critic that's sitting down and reviewing movies and holding my career in their hands. This movie was made for little girls and blah, 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 so they have a superhero movie that they can go to and look up to, right? My problem with that is that, one, Wonder Woman did that already, and they did that without the whole agenda. 2, this movie needs to realize that there have been female leads in the MCU for years. Okay, Scarlet Witch has not been a side character. She's one of the most powerful people in the MCU, and they've used her very well as a driving engine for Vision and, just moving the story along. What's her name? Romanoff.
Black Widow?
Black Widow.
And they're talking about giving her her own soul.
I would love to see a Black Widow. Spy hijinks? Fine.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah. Give it to me.
Is she gonna get naked in this one?
No. So you're thinking Red Sparrow. But
I haven't seen ScarJo's tits in this.
But the thing is,
sorry,
is that
toxic, but she has nice tits. Well, she does, man. Sorry.
Anyway, is that the MCU has made its franchise based not only on giving every type of person representation, but also doing so in a way that's not pandering, but they're giving the forefront. So yeah, guess what? When Romanoff is breaking a freaking Russian terrorist neck while she's being tortured in a chair, dope. Okay, that's women doing some dope ass shit without needing somebody to save them. But when you spearhead Captain Marvel on this whole, oh, guess what? We're providing a new outlet for little girls to have someone to look up to, and then it becomes this lackluster horseshit that I'm hearing, that's a problem. Because Gal Gadot, wait, is it Gadot or Gadot?
Gal Gadot.
Is it? Okay. Gal Gadot did this effortlessly without having that be her mission statement. And guess what? Wonder Woman was a fantastic fucking movie.
And here's the best part. They introduced her. Maybe when we got to Batman vs Superman, it was like they could have done better to introduce her. But they introduced her. They at least introduced her.
Yeah.
And then when you got to Wonder Woman, you at least know who she was.
Yeah.
Unlike Captain Marvel, where I walked away from that movie knowing just as much that I knew when I walked into it. Yeah. And that's a problem for me.
Because and as I stated earlier, the MCU has decided to diverge from the comics in quite a bit. So when you have a character trying to establish themselves in the first movie, even though they are very, very important to the MCU, in the later movies, that's a problem. Because that's like saying, hey, you know what? This thing is so important, you need to know about it. Here's the Wikipedia entry on it. Take what you will.
Yeah, and that's kind of bullshit. Now, I told you there's a third. I said 3 fucking positive things in theory.
Yeah.
Here's the third thing. Despite all the flaws and all the problems that I had with this movie, I did like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. She showed a lot of enthusiasm in that role.
Okay, great.
It's just a shame that her story sucks. Her story sucks. And even how they set her up to be in Endgame was like, really? Really? That's it? That's how you introduce her to Endgame? That's bullshit to me. That's bullshit. But I liked her enough to say, because I assume, even after Endgame, they will, they'll do another Captain Marvel or another story with her. And I do want to see what they go with this, especially if we're going to talk about more about the Kree Skrull War.
Yeah, my favorite.
Because that's my thing, because I don't know that much about it.
Okay.
I don't know that much about the Kree Skrull War. I hope Nemesis 43 maybe will collect that.
Okay.
That dude, I assume is a guy, but for all I know, it could be an old black lady. But Nemesis 43.
Thank you. Paragon of your field, we love you.
Yeah. I hope that he will collect that. this person or that person will collect the Kree Skrull Reward, because I do want to know more about that. And they only scratch the surface of that.
What you call it? So, moving forward,
wait.
What? Oh, wait, because you have a theory.
I have a theory in the rating.
Okay, theory.
The rating is it a theater movie or a bootleg movie? Absolutely a fucking bootleg movie.
All right.
It's a bootleg movie. I don't think you need to go to the theater to see this. But then again, this won't play on Netflix. Because Ant-Man the Wasp, to my knowledge, was their last movie they're going to put on Netflix.
Yeah, before they get their own app.
Before they get their own app. So if you see it on TV, yeah, go ahead and watch it. Do you need to go to the theater to see this? Absolutely not.
All right.
Here's my theory. This might be some... This we'll get into some spoiler territory.
All right. Spoiler warning starting now. 3, 2,
at 120. So as we know in Infinity War, whoever died. That means Gamora died, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they go by the book, and we know that Captain Marvel is teaming up with the goddamn Guardians, who's to say that that's not Star-Lord's new love interest?
Oh, you know
what?
Yeah.
They're both from Earth. They're both one's from the 80s, one from the 90s.
Yep.
They both love music. Who's to say that they won't get together at some point?
I think that they will allow the Gamora relationship to flourish, but you are correct because she's human.
Yeah.
And she is from the 90s, and she is from Earth. But the thing is that she also has weird amnesia, and she has crazy superpowers, so that's just one of those things that...
Yeah, I mean, unless they use a time stone in Endgame, which I just assume is going to happen, and everybody comes back. If she doesn't, then you can go in that direction with Star-Lord and Captain Marvel. That's my theory.
And potential spoilers right fucking now.
And 120, 153.
Yep. So
anyways, what did you say?
That was pretty much all I had on Captain Marvel. I want to see it to pan out whether or not this controversy was a controversy, but from the sound of it, from you and other people I've spoken to, it's just an average movie and it's enjoyable. But guess what?
Is it political? It might be, and either A, I'm just really fucking dumb on the political shit, which is true. Or by that point, I just didn't give a shit.
I think it's more of a you didn't give a shit.
I didn't give a shit at that point.
And 2, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Movies are meant to entertain. When you put as much weight onto a movie as to government change, that's a problem. And just let your movies entertain you.
Yeah, man.
More you know.
If you see it, you'll see it. If you don't, it's like, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Or anything else. Right. Anything else for you?
For me? Have you, okay, so.
Oh, actually, you know what?
What? Okay, well, you got
Well, because it was going to come up eventually.
Uh-huh.
WWE announced the recipient of the Warrior Award this year.
Mm-hmm. Who got them Hot Bones Award?
Not a kid.
Huh?
Not a kid this year.
Not a kid.
It's a woman.
Okay, so it's the Amazon Award.
Her name is Sue Atchison.
Okay, what has Sue done?
She's been in the company for 30 years.
In the company, WWE?
WWE. Yeah.
All right, so it's insider?
She's an insider. Here's more insider information for people out there who are hardcore wrestling fans like I am.
Mm-hmm.
She played the Duchess of Queensberry in the match between Chris Jericho and William Regal in the Duchess of Queensberry rules match.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But behind that, outside of that, I should say, she's been in the company for 30 years. She is the one that connected WWE with Make-A-Wish.
Oh, okay.
And as we all know, WWE is a big supporter a huge supporter of Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, how many times has Cena, flex in front of kids?
They have granted 6,000 wishes.
Really?
to these kids. Yeah,
That many?
yeah,
Any
yeah.
been,
And she won an award for Make-A-Wish because of that.
has
So
any
she
involved
is winning.
Paige?
Yeah, and she is the recipient of this year's Warrior Award, which makes sense because that was what the Warrior wanted. It wasn't
Yeah.
about dying cancer kids. No, no disrespect.
Yeah.
No disrespect. But
It's
this is
about
more in
people
line. Yeah, this is more in
who've
line of what.
impacted the community.
Yeah, especially in wrestling.
Yes.
And this is the first time since they announced this Warrior Award where they gave it to somebody that it makes sense that they get this Warrior Award.
Yeah.
So congratulations to her.
Yeah. Damn right.
Yeah. The other thing I forgot to say last week was congratulations to Harlem Heat. They're going to Hall of Fame.
They're going to Hall of Fame? It's fucking cool.
You know it'd be funny?
What?
If Hulk Hogan fucking inducted them. But no. Booker T
only
did
thing,
was
no, I'm not
infamous.
saying, no, the only thing that would be funny is if Booker T did it.
Yes.
Is that you finally get in there.
People out there don't know. Go on YouTube, look at Harlem Heat fucking promo. They did one of the most infamous promos that Booker T did.
They sure did.
Hulk Hogan, we come
for you.
We want the gold. We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we come for you, nigga. So it'd be funny. It'd be funny to me if like Hulk Hogan inducted him,
and he's like, "You came for me.
I heard you was coming for me, nigga." But he's not gonna do that because Hulk Hogan is a racist, allegedly.
One, but two, they're very PC. So
yeah, they're not gonna do that. If I was running it and it wasn't PC, of course I have Hulk Hogan inducting Harlem Heat.
I would have Hulk Hogan inducting Harlem Heat and saying, "You finally did it, my niggas." Yeah. And then he looks around awkwardly.
I mean,
that'd be great.
I mean, Vince McMahon said "nigga" on a pay-per-view one time.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Sure did.
Google that shit because that happened. Actually, still have that shit on tape. Now I'm sure they scrubbed it on the WWE Network, I have the I have the fucking live version on tape. That's why I never got rid of these tapes.
Yeah. Because
because a lot of the stuff that I have is when it actually happened.
Nice.
Or at least pre WWE Network when they try to scrub everything.
Like Benoit.
Yeah, and I got plenty of Benoit shit, including WrestleMania 20 when he won the belt.
Nice.
Live when it happened. Damn, see, that's it. That's all I fucking got.
That's all you got. So, let us say, what are you looking forward to in the future?
Well.
Before we do box office numbers.
Well, I'm looking forward to not a goddamn thing. Not a fucking thing this week.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to yet another week where I'm just miserable. Outside of this mic, I'm just like, well, do I really have to do this today?
Outside of this motherfucker who is miserable, I'm looking forward to Us. That comes out fucking Friday.
That comes out Friday, yes. And,
so you better be on your grind.
Did you hear the, speaking of Us,
did
you hear the remix of I Got 5 on it?
No.
There's a remix.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I seen the trailer.
Okay. Well, they, Crazy Bone and the Loonies remix.
They remixed
I Got 5 on it. It's called I Got 5 on Us.
Oh my god, that's so fire!
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up, but
if I could play it right now, I would. For you.
My thing is this, okay? We talked about the degree of horror movies and how they shock us and how they don't shock us, right? Now, I am a fan of Get Out, right? You, not so much.
Okay, no. Let me clarify that because I didn't do that the last time you said this.
Okay, go ahead.
I like the first 2/3 of Get Out. The ending killed it for me. It's the same. It's the same thing with Hereditary. I like the first 2/3 of Hereditary. Hated the ending of it.
Okay, so I'll put it this way, because I hated one character of Get Out. I hated the friend. and how kind of stereotypical.
The
Good
same guy
lordy.
that was in Uncle Drew.
Yes.
Okay.
I was not a fan of the friend who was the TSA agent.
Yes.
And
a little something.
Yes. Yeah. I felt that his role was very Tyler Perry-ish pandering type deal. Like, oh my God, I'm going to act like black people act when they see movies, right? But the science of Get Out was fantastic.
That's the part I hated.
You hated?
I hated that part of it. I hated that part of it.
I loved it only because I see us building upon it.
I hated that part of it.
Like, okay, so I got something for you to look up and the listeners to look up when they get a chance. Look up SCP Foundation, right? It's a collection of short stories about scientific experiments gone awry, right? It's just, think about it as the outer limits, but it's localized within a factory, and it's about, like, test subjects. So, for example, test subject SCP-135 is a Voss. The Voss steals your soul. Only if there are only like 6 or 7 people watching it while it's being handled or whatnot, what have you. So there are rules. There, you get your horror movie rule set. You get your horror movie consequence, and you get your horror movie ending when you deal with this. Us continues the whole scientific aspect of the people who were running a facility in Get Out, where they were taking people's minds and putting it into other people. And I love that aspect of it because it makes a growing conspiracy theory and a just world around this whole scientific institution that Get Out and potentially Us is based around. When you see the trailer, you see all these rabbits in the fucking hallway, and this, that, and the third. And it's the same hallway from Get Out, so you're like, oh my God, there's a connection. You know what? Go fuck yourself, because I haven't said that yet this podcast. But go fuck yourself. I get to jizz.
White people want to be black people. Just put on a fucking black face. That's how you fucking feel.
They did that.
The ending sucked.
And that's the starting.
The ending sucked. Which is why I like Jordan Peele and what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a fan of him as yet. I'm not a fan of him as yet.
I'm a fan because guess what?
Get Out. You know what? I was married to a white girl. So part of it is like I could have came up with a story, but it would have been better and it wouldn't have had this
No. Go fuck yourself.
This scientific mumbo fucking jumbo at the end. Fuck you.
Go fuck yourself because I think you just didn't like the ending, which is fine.
That ending sucked, just like the ending of Hereditary sucked.
But at the same time,
nope. Sorry, Jordan Peele.
At the same time, he is establishing a fucking Outer Limits Twilight Zone type universe, and I love it. You know, Twilight Zone is my favorite show of all time.
Yes, it is.
Yes, unequivocally the best show ever made.
Are you going to see it? Are you going to go out of your way
to
watch that?
Goddamn no, I'm going to go see the fucking new Twilight Zone. They fucking trailer. Not even trailer. This fucking
the Super Bowl commercial?
Yes. Super Bowl commercial hit me to the fucking heart. Fuck you. Fuck anybody that denies. Twilight Zone is one of the best shows ever fucking made.
As far as sci-fi, I would disagree with you.
Yeah, because you probably say Star Trek.
I'm a Trekkie.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck
you.
Beam me
Star Trek is dope.
Beam this up my ass, Scotty. Okay, fuck you.
Beam your own sausage up your butt. Star Trek is dope.
Star Trek is fine, but...
Okay, Twilight Zone is fine. There are some good episodes.
You want me to fucking choke you out
There are some good episodes, like Little Girl Lost. You know what Little Girl Lost is? Poltergeist.
Yes.
That might be my favorite episode ever.
But I say Twilight Zone is the best show ever because it made not only most of the science fiction stereotypes that go around in every movie, but the horror and
you mean
fantasy.
You mean the twist endings?
Not even twist.
Because really, if you think about it, it really is just about the twist at the end.
Even
a lot of them. Yes, they are. If you really break down Twilight Zone, it really is about the M. Night Shyamalan twist ending at the end.
Go fuck yourself. On
really?
No.
Get the okay.
It is not
this
all
is,
about twist ending.
Yes, it is.
We are going to go to fisticuffs.
Twist ending.
We're going to go to fisticuffs.
The one about the pig people? Goddamn twist ending.
Look.
It is.
Look.
It is.
Look.
It is.
Because we already said it 3 times.
It is. 4th time now.
Twilight Zone has established some of the most used science fiction tropes of all time.
Twist endings.
I will give Star Trek a bunch of them.
If it wasn't for Star Trek, you wouldn't have had CAT scans and cell phones. Thank you.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
CAT scans and cell phones? Didn't have that before. Before the tricorder? A tricorder is just a Galaxy 10.
My God.
It is.
Oh my. Okay, we're not gonna continue to do this.
I swear to God, yeah, because it's already late.
Yeah, it's already fucking late.
Yeah, it's already late. And this is a conversation for another time. Yes. But fuck off.
So guess what?
CAT scans and fucking Galaxy 10s. Thank you, Gene Roddenberry.
Guess what, viewers? If you are a fan of Twilight Zone and think it is the epicenter of sci-fi and fantasy tropes, please press 1 on those YouTube comments.
You know that
if you think that DJ Allen 1 is correct, go fuck yourself. Because you're wrong.
Press 2. There is a way where we can do polls on
oh yeah, YouTube. I know there's a way you can do polls.
But we're not advanced for that yet. But Twilight Zone is cool and all, but not as cool as Star Trek. It is what it is.
Okay, let's agree to disagree.
Sure. So before a fist fight breaks out, that's not gonna happen.
Before a fucking fist fight breaks out.
but before it's like Thor Thunderdome. Okay.
All right.
Do you have anything else?
No, I have nothing else. So to close out,
neither do I. So as we always
do, but go ahead.
Like I said, I'm not really looking forward to anything this week.
Alrighty, really.
So as we close out this show, let's do what we always do around this time. Let's talk about box office numbers coming from JoeBlow.com. The 10 most successful movies of the past weekend. Number 1, of course, was a movie that I just talked about, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel was taking it.
Yep. It made $69.3 million.
69?
Yep. A significant drop from last weekend would have made $153 million, which is pretty standard for blockbusters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's panicking. It's like, oh my God, this movie only made half of what it did. It's like, yeah, you know why? Because everybody wanted to see Captain Marvel when it first came out. And now what you're getting is everybody else is like, I don't want to, I want to beat the crowds. I don't want to be in a packed theater. Yeah. So I'm going to see it now.
And I fall into that category 3.
Yeah, so do I. I rarely go to anything on opening day.
Yes.
I have done that before, but not really. It's between this and worldwide, it is close to $1 billion.
Oh,
it made like $750 million.
It is not making no fucking Avengers number, so continue.
Yeah. Number 2 was the animated movie Wonder Park. You heard of this?
Fuck is that?
I don't know what this is either.
Wonder Park?
Wonder Park, yeah.
And that's number 2.
That's number 2.
Fuck me. I'm gonna... Is that a Wes Anderson movie or something?
It's an animated movie. No, it's more like a DreamWorks movie, I think. Or it's an animated movie. Yeah. That's all I know. It made 16. Yeah, It made $16 million at the box office this past weekend. Number 3 was 5 Feet Apart, which I didn't even know what it was, so I had to do some research.
Yes.
It's basically this year's The Fault Between Our Stars. The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh, right.
About cancer patients, young ones.
Gunn Award winners.
Yes. That made $13.1 million at the box office.
Alrighty.
Number 4 was How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah, Hiccup. Doing his thing.
$9.3 million.
Fuck, get that guap, Hiccup.
$135.6 million at the box office. So it crossed over the $100 million mark.
Yep.
Number 5 was Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Film.
God damn it, man.
Oh, guess what, man? This is the only black movie.
Yo, we gotta get Mitts in here. We gotta get Mitts.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens on Mania Sunday.
Yep.
But that movie made $8 million this past weekend. $59 million altogether, so it probably made its money back.
Oh, yeah, probably did.
6 was a Spanish movie, so...
Alright, let's do it.
No Manches Frida 2, Dos.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this movie's about, but it did make $3.8 million at the box office.
Alright.
Number 7 was Captain State. I'm sorry, Captain State.
Captain State.
About the alien invasion in Chicago.
Yeah.
That movie made $3.1 million.
Alright.
Number 8 was the Lego Movie 2, the second part.
You know what? I'm glad it's still up there.
It is. $2.1 million. It's crossed over the $100 million mark in the States. It made $101.3 million domestically.
Okay.
So congratulations to that.
Yeah,
global, no. It's just domestic.
Okay.
But it probably made well over $100 million at this point.
Nice.
Number 9 was A Little Battle Angel.
Wow, I'm actually surprised.
I know, right?
That's still getting traction.
It's still getting traction. That movie came out like early February.
I got a feeling we're gonna get an Akira live action movie. Fuck that.
They've been talking about that for years, and
yeah, I know. I hope they don't do it.
Tom Cruise at one point was tapped to star in Akira. This is years ago. But that movie made $1.9 million, and it's made $81.8 million domestically.
All right.
So, and I don't know if I said this before. I may have to go back and listen to old episodes, but the end of that movie, it does open it up for a sequel. So
you did.
So, this movie has made quite a bit of money. So I just assume we're gonna get part 2 at some point.
Fair enough.
Well, I guess.
We'll see it.
Yeah. Well, I guess because I've already seen part 1. And number 10 movie of the week was Green Book.
Really? That is actually
because it won Best Picture.
Oscar, yeah.
That movie made $1.2 million. Altogether, domestically, it made $82.6 million at the box office. So, congratulations to that.
Yes, indeed.
And congratulations to Marshmallow Ali.
Yes, Marshmallow Ali. So, I made a very succinct point to say his name at least once correctly during the last podcast where we brought up his name, but I've since forgot it. So, Marshmallow Ali it is!
Yeah. Marriage Ali. One thing I am looking forward to is I'm going to get a new shirt this week. Because I haven't bought one in quite some time.
No, you haven't.
I found a New Mutant shirt.
Really?
I didn't know that that's how Deadpool was introduced. So I found a shirt.
Yeah.
It's a cover of a New Mutants comic.
Robert Liefeld cover?
Yeah, where
holy shit.
Where Deadpool was first introduced. I was like, that's dope. So I'm gonna get that.
Alright.
Yeah. So I like to think, probably not by next week, but in a few weeks you will see me with that shirt on.
Alright.
So that's about the only thing I'm looking forward to besides doing this podcast next week.
Next week I am looking forward, like I said, to seeing not only Captain Marvel, but potentially Us.
Yeah, I know you want to see it in the theater. I'm just like, if we do, cool.
If it's acquired, then fine. If you acquire it by means, fine. I will
yeah, but
sit
how
here
are we
and
gonna
watch it.
see that? Yeah.
And
I know I got a rig for this, but
yeah.
I know you really wanted to see that in the theater.
Look,
and I'm just
look.
like, that's cool.
I'll take us.
How about this?
Yes.
Instead of us,
Yeah.
how about we see like Endgame in the theater?
No. We're gonna see Endgame in the theater because I'm going to slot out fucking time for me and you to go see that.
That's got to be in that's got to be in the morning. That has to be in the morning.
I don't care if it has to be 6 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
Yeah.
If it's the first thing smoking, we're going to see that in the theater.
The last MCU movie we saw in a theater together was the first Avengers.
Yeah, and the last movie we saw in the theater was fucking goddamn Fury Road.
Yeah.
So, guess what?
That means you got to fucking...
Me and you...
Either A, you got to drive because I don't.
I don't care.
Or
I do not care.
We take public transportation.
We will fucking show our legs to hitchhikers if need be. We're seeing Endgame in the theater.
I'm not doing that at all. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, I'm not doing that at all.
Rules of the road. Ass, cash, or grass. That's what they say. That's an old...
Okay, well,
I got both.
I guess it's cash then. Oh, you got cash and ass? Because I know you ain't got no grass.
I got no ass. I've got no ass to
You ain't got grass either. So what is it?
I got cash.
Yeah, exactly. You got cash, Holmes. You got ass or grass.
In any event.
I got ass.
In any event, we're seeing this goddamn movie.
Yeah, I said we do that.
But
that's way after.
But aside from Infinity War, I'm looking forward to Us, and I'm looking forward to doing some reading. I also have noticed that as people know, I'm a gamer, so let me get this out the way.
Mm-hmm.
They are selling a ton of stuff on the super duper cheap if you look for deals.
Like what?
I don't know. I mean,
is there a flash sale right now?
It's not a flash sale. They just have a ton of shit. I mean, they got shit for like fucking $3, dude.
Yeah, but for $3, it's probably those indie games that I could care.
Yeah, you probably could care less for them, but
if it's like a AAA title that's like $20, it'd be like that's
look. See, my thing is this: is that you can probably find a AAA title, but you gotta do a little hunting. It might be last year's copy.
Here's the thing. There hasn't been a lot of games that came out. That's my problem.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of games that came out that I was just like, oh, I really need to play.
Yeah.
Like, I'll play Red Dead Redemption 2 at some point. I just don't want to right now.
No, that's
Devil May Cry 5, I'd play it.
But not right now.
Especially since you downloaded it and then you get a physical copy of it.
I'm sorry.
But, if you had a physical copy, I'd be sitting there playing it right now.
Totally rocking it.
Yeah, be rocking that right now.
So that's my thing.
I'm not going to get a show.
And working up to Evo.
Oh, yeah. You going to the tournament this year? You going to Vegas?
I'm not going to Vegas,
really?
But one of my homeboys that I actually been keeping in touch with is training for it. So I've been a prime Evo coach.
Well, hopefully he's training to get a hand-me-down by a fucking hooker in Vegas.
Guess what? If they came back with one of those Happy Hep-C posters that I've been seeing around lately, fine. But at the same time, look, I'm glad to be the guy, the middleman that helps.
All you geeks going to fucking Evo. Listen to my voice. Get some rings around your dick. Okay? Try not to get AIDS, but everything under that or herpes. Because, yo,
dude, slight digression, my guy.
What?
Yo, what's up with all the Happy Herp-C posters?
Because there's an epidemic right now.
Really?
Yeah, because, especially herpes, because so many people is like, well, it only comes up every once in a while, so you can, so I'm going to give that to you, and it's not really going to bother you. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to go through anything like that.
On my way here, I saw like 4 herpes posters, and they're all
Hep C's been around for a while as well because I swore I think Pamela Lee has that. Pamela Anderson has Hep C.
In any event,
yeah.
That's
But
what
herpes? Oh, fuck yourself. I don't want herpes.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Not herpes.
Okay, get the sizzle dick because you can fucking you can get cured for that, but herpes you can get cured for that. I don't want that. I don't want that.
I'm looking forward to Letterkenny, which is a Canadian show that I've been watching, and pretty much whatever's on Flash Sale or whatever's the deal on the PSN.
Okay. Last
What
thing,
about
did
you?
you see Last Week Tonight?
Which one?
Public Shaming.
Ooh, yes, I did.
With Monica Lewinsky?
Yes! Monica. Yo, first of all, she's looking on point.
She looked on point back then as well, but that's just because I like
I'm about to say
the girls.
You like the girls back then, so
yeah.
She's always looked on point.
Yeah.
But she's looking on point to me.
Yeah.
And second of all, the interview segment they had with her, phenomenal. Because
why? For you?
Well, my thing is this, because she's been an online bullying advocate. And a lot of things people say about online bullying is, well, why don't you just turn off the PC? This and the third. And one thing that I know is true is that even if you turn it off and look away, that doesn't change the fact that a million people have seen it. And that you are a household joke.
Yeah. And on top of that, she was shamed in an era where we didn't have the internet. Or at least
she was shamed in an era of we had budding internet, but it was more of the fact that she was shamed in the epicenter of the 24-hour news cycle. So her name was on everyone's lips.
Yeah.
At 20, in the 24/7 cycle.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's like when you see, like, a good example is the dad who took his he had a goddamn Desert Eagle or whatever, shot his daughter's computer up and said, "This, you want to act a fool online and this, that, and the third," and shot up the computer. I'm gonna embarrass you.
Yeah.
That carries. Or the dude that said, "I'm gonna box my son because he cut up in school."
Yeah.
That stuff carries. Even okay. So John Oliver made the point. At 22, everybody does something stupid. Yeah. And that's the thing. If you could take your worst moment and just magnify it exponentially, where millions, even above millions, could see your worst of you, how would you feel? That is what Monica Lewinsky felt. And that's why I said, look, the way she handled it was top notch. The way she took care of it on Last Week Tonight was top notch. And
yeah, she has a really potty mouth. And
oh my God, the fact that she did the beret joke was hilarious.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, you had cigar shirt over your fucking snatch, so of course you have.
Yeah, and she also talked about the fact that she can make a beret joke, but she can't make a dress joke. She can't make a cigar joke.
Well, maybe she should make a cigar joke. Well, see, since you have nothing else, neither do I.
Yep.
Let's close out for a night because it is an hour and 53 minutes. It was
boy.
Over. So this episode is probably going to get like 9 views. So we're going to cut it here. I've been Alan 1. He's been Brother C. We've been the Geeks from Apartment 2. We'll see you next week.
Deuces.
And as always, we keep the door open for you. Laters.